from PureGrainTV, and we're sitting down with Corey from Trivium. How are you?
I'm doing very good.
Good, good. Going through the internet last night, and you guys have a lot of new fans. Here today, there's a slew of kids coming that are all around 15, 16 years of age, and it's their first concert ever. What was your first concert? What was the first thing you ever went to?
Yeah, my first concert was in '97 in Lewiston, Maine. I went and saw Megadeth.
Awesome.
So that was awesome.
So does it feel a little bit strange and neat and interesting that you're actually doing, obviously you must have dreamt of doing this back then, back in Maine, in '97 when you went to see them. Did you ever think this was going to happen for you?
There's always, been, ever since I started playing guitar and got into metal, and, you watch like videos or, you watch bands play live, and just the more you get into it, I was just, like, man, I just want to be in a band. It's just there's something about just playing music and being on tour or making albums and stuff. It just, for some reason, it had a really big appeal to me that I was just like, I have to do that. So
what would you be doing if you weren't doing this? What would you be doing if you weren't in rock and roll?
Shit, I have no idea. The way I kind of got into the band, I moved from Maine to Florida to go to school for like audio engineering for like recording, and I just happened that the school was right in the area that the band was from, and I ended up catching them when they were still local. I caught them at a bar, and I liked what they did, so I became friends with Matt, and then a year after that they were looking for another guitar player because they were their three-piece originally, and so I hit him up and I was like, hey, can I try out? And he's like, yeah, man, come on, and then it just worked out. So.
And you've been doing it a while now. This is about your 9th, 10th year, or?
Yeah, well, I've been in the band since 2003, and then the band started when they were really, really young, like in '99. And they were like 12 or something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you still go see live shows and concerts outside of what you see at these festivals?
Yeah, if I'm home, if there's something going on at home, I go check out. A lot of the concert venues at a lot of the bands that I listen to, is right down the street from my house. I really don't have to venture too far to go catch a show. And a buddy of mine that records a lot of the bands, all the metal bands out nowadays. Me and him are good buddies, and we usually. Most of the bands, that come through town, we know them, so we just kind of go out and say hey to everybody. So I do try to catch, when I can.
Right.
I'm not home too often, or I'm like, oh, that's a really cool show, and it happens to be like the day after I leave or the day before I get home from a tour. So I always have bad timings, but.
Right. So Buzz is you're working on your 6th album right now.
Yep.
This is true. Excellent. And so where's the inspiration coming from for this album?
We wrote, I think, at one point, normally we just kind of just write or just jam on guitar, and if something happens, you kind of get inspired by like, ooh, a cool riff, and then you just kind of work off that. But I think there was a good portion of the year when we were actually writing, and we got. I guess it was maybe not exposed, but we got to really see, I guess, what the new trend of music is nowadays, as far as what's in like the heavier scene, and it really angered us, and we're just like, man, that stuff sucks, really, really bad.
So who pissed you off? Come on, give us some details. I'm
not going to give any names because then that's pretty much giving them free press. But it's not just one band in particular, but. There's a lot of bands doing almost kind of the same thing, and even watching like the stage moves and just like what the whole genre of that form of music is that all the young kids are playing nowadays. We're just like, man, there's no riffs, and it's just really, really stupid. So it really pisses us off to just want to just write like just bludgeoning metal riffs and have that classic, actually know how to use a guitar type kind of be very aggressive and everything. So we got inspired by that, and then we write a lot when we're on tour, so just being in different cities or different countries, seeing like even architecture or paintings or just culture in general, you gotta get inspired in different places to write that, we'll just sit down and pump out some riffs or some songs, and just go from there. So it's there's pretty much just everything in life can you can use as your fuel for writing metal. So.
For inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I hear this album's going to be a little heavier than the last one.
It's very it's more cohesive, I guess, from song to song. We're really, gonna push the boundaries a little bit. Right now musically, it's got a little bit more meat to it, as far as there's more riffs in the songs. There's more, it just kind of showcases everything we do. There's a lot of big melodic epic guitar stuff, and then there's like really heavy groovy stuff. And then once we get working on the vocals, I think that's the music's we've always had comes easy to us. And then when we start laying on the vocals and the patterns and everything, that's where it really kind of takes, like, you're like, that song's really cool, and then you're like, that song's a badass motherfucker. So it's once we get the music down and Matt can go to town on dealing with all the vocal stuff, is when it's really going to start taking shape and kind of seeing like how aggressive it really going to get.
Awesome. Do you like the writing and the recording process? Do you like the recording process?
Yeah, it's always fun. I think when you're on tour, you look forward to recording, and then once you're in the studio recording, you get pumped to go out and play them. So by the time we get done this tour cycle for this record, we're going to be looking forward to getting in the studio, because all the songs will know exactly kind of how everything's going to be, and being in the studio, it's always fun to be creative and just write something cool, like off the cuff, like writing guitar solos. I have a lot of fun just being in the studio, and you can hear all the songs so clearly, and the production, it inspires you when everything sounds so good. So I always have fun playing solos and just seeing what kind of crazy shit I can come up with off the top of my head.
So cool. I have a lot of friends who are big fans, and so I have some Facebook questions. Would you mind answering?
No problem.
Some silly stuff here. Tim always asks this of every rock star, so I have to ask you, do you watch Family Guy?
Every once in a while.
Oh, so you're not a huge fan, though?
No, I don't. I'll, like, if there's nothing else on, I pop it on because there's some funny stuff, but definitely not, I don't really watch a whole lot of, on tour I don't really watch a whole lot of TV, and, I TiVo some stuff, but then, I don't really, Family Guy's on all the time, so you don't really have to TiVo it, yeah. So there's always reruns, but my big show is Married with Children.
You're kidding,
yeah.
Really?
I love that show.
That's been around a while now, so.
Yeah, that was like a 90s show, but
yeah.
It's hilarious, so that's my go-to show now.
Yes.
So.
Deb would like to know if you could possibly name a song that Trivium fans may actually consider a guilty pleasure. So something that people might go, really? You like that? That sort of song. Something you like by maybe a completely different genre.
Oh, I thought you were asking one of our songs.
No, not your own song. Just something you like.
I gotta say one of our songs is kind of stupid, that it's a guilty pleasure.
No, it wouldn't be, yes.
Guilty pleasure song, wow. I know, I'm trying to think of something that's been played that's just like, wow.
It's a tough question. It's hard to think on the spot of a,
I'm trying to think of something on my iPod that's just really like off the wall. I have that, God, I can't remember the name of the band. Shit. Sometimes there's a song that's just like part of a joke that I'll end up putting on my iPod just to have it, but I haven't actually listened to it in a really long time, but on my iPod there is that Men at Work Down Under song, and then Toby Keith, She's a Hottie.
yeah, I didn't peg you as liking that, that's for sure.
Well, I don't really like that song, but when we recorded the Shogun album in Nashville, which is like, the country place, and every day to and from the studio, though, I think that song had just come out, because we heard it all the time, and everyone in the, the producer, everyone that was working in the studio, like, at some point during the day, someone would, she's a hottie, like, because the lyrics are dumb as shit, like that Red Solo Cup song, that song gets stuck in your head really easy.
Yes, it does, yes. Mm-hmm.
But I downloaded it so I could just like randomly play it to annoy people. They'd be like, God damn, turn that song on. But
what's your favorite thing to do outside of music?
I'm a big, I don't really get to play them, but I'm really into sports. So I watch a lot of sports. Have
you been catching up on the Olympics?
I don't watch the Olympics. I'm waiting for NFL football to start.
Right.
That's my big thing, and I'm that and NHL hockey are like my two sports that I like to follow. And And then I play a little bit of video games, but not much. But you know, once I get off tour and I'm at home, I just kind of like hang out with some friends, and it's kind of catch up on just like actually being at home. Who's your team? Who's your NHL team? NHL team. Growing up in New England, I follow the Bruins, and then I guess my adopted team, living in Florida, is I really like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Right. And then there's a lot of other teams that I just I'll root for if they're like in the playoffs. Like I was rooting for, you know, from the beginning of the playoffs, I was rooting for the Kings. So I was really excited that they made it all the way to the finals and won it. So I didn't like the other teams. We've been rooting for the Leafs since 1967 here, and nothing's happening. So it's too bad because we're such a hockey country. So what can we expect from tonight? What are we going to see? Well, we're excited because this whole Trespass America tour, we've only been playing for like 35 minutes. So we've had, you know, only been able to play like 6 songs. But found out last night, you know, we're playing an hour today, so we get to kind of spread our wings and you know, get up there and play longer. So we're going to figure out a cool set and you know, cram as many songs as we possibly can fit in. And awesome. Hopefully, if this is a lot of people's first time seeing us, or even I guess if they saw us on some of the other times we came through Toronto, you know, we're gonna hopefully we'll pick a set list that we haven't played the same songs like all the other times we came through. So try to mix it up and give everyone who's keeps coming out to see us, you know, something cool to look forward to. Oh, that's great. Thanks so much for sitting down and talking with us. It was a pleasure to meet you. Julie at a very rainy, heavy TO, PureGrainTV.